And we're live. Okay, so um, most of your guns, you will see that there is a little Bimbus that has an ammo counter. Each of us mercs should have three or four mags, and basically we get to. It'll be easier for me to count ammo this way. Um, with this system. Once you're out, you hit the refill, delete the or just like we used to, you put the spent magazine from the gun. Oh my. Don't don't fling it across the map like I just did on
I mean,
accident
you
there.
can if you really want to, I suppose.
I mean, it's yeah, it's
It just makes you a dick, though.
nobody's stopping you, but let's see here. But yeah, so you run out, hit the reload button, and then throw the magazine that's in your gun. That's going to be the one at the bottom right of your little character sheet thing. Um, Throw that one just up here, and then pull another one from your inventory. Going through that, some of you, most of us, have plate carriers. Some of us have tactical rigs. Plate carriers, I didn't have time to get everybody armored up, but if you have level 2 or 3 plates, or 3 or 4 plates, I gave you the max of that armor, so your plates can take some damage, and then obviously there's your gear. Um, Depending on what backpack you have, there's a little slot down below that covers up the part that we're not using for this character sheet anymore. That is, it will look like Sumka or C. What does it look like as an English speaker? Cymka, I think. Yeah. Sumka is just bag. Anyways, so you got your chest rig or tactical rig or plate carrier, whatever. I've got the shellback shield, and then a true spec battle belt, and then underneath of that a large multi pack, the Rush 72. Um, we're gonna focus highly on character development, as like with the last one, and gear organization, which is a very large part of S.T.A.L.K.E.R, atmosphere and gear building. Moving on from that, if you have money, if you haven't been robbed, your money is in the big container in the middle. So when you pull that guy up, you'll also have your faction patch, which you will be able to take from dead enemies. Um, that'll come into play later in the story. And also a passport. Some of you have fake passports, which you can display if you so choose so, but make sure that you're ready to back that up. Um, any oh Over here we have a lot of new systems. Rather than building a board for each session, the sessions will be a lot more dynamic. Um, Essentially, if you guys want to go scavenging for loot or whatever, I'm not going to build a board for that. Rather, it's going to be more cerebral, and we'll walk into whatever zone we're going into. We'll choose on the map, which is another screen. But basically, we start getting in there, and we'll have a little roly roll like this guy. It landed on a singular bloodsucker, so we will be hunted by a bloodsucker. Um, Other times, if I'm feeling particularly devious, I'll have you choose from the 140 events cards. And when we're looking for loot, there's items. When we're trying to, Rib is doing his thing. He is the guide for us. Um, he can pull from the shortcut maps if he so chooses, at at great risk. Um, so with every
Ooh.
Every good thing there is a massive consequence, as is the name of Stalker. That said, uh, we also have the regular hit die. If you're injured, you'll roll that. That is where you're hit. That is represented by the little man figure at the bottom of all your sheets. Make sure he's not covered. Oh, I covered that on some of your guys's. I'll fix that later. Um, yeah, so the big picture in the center is our entire team. Um, prior to Classic going missing type of thing. It's just a little visual representation for all of y'all. So once again, going over the lore, this is 2019 in the zone. So lights over the CNPP, but no earthquakes have happened yet. The monolith is making huge ground, and the zone is incredibly unstable. And duty and freedom are at the height of their conflict. Currently, the mercs are still in um, Pripyat and Dead City, or sorry, military warehouse and the science facilities. We, however, all of us, aside from Rib, are non-zoners. We have never been in the zone before. We've heard about it, more than likely, some of you. Um, but we haven't been here. Ribcage and Riot, or Riot and Whisper have. So, take that into your character however you will. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Not currently, but if anything comes up, I'll let you know.
Perfect. And it is first session. I expect a lot of rockiness throughout the first session, and as always, we iron things out as we go. That said, let's go ahead and begin the dive into the zone. Um, everybody has heard the main backstory, right? That brings us up to where we are getting the contract.
I have, yes.
All right. I will read it for the rest of you. Just make sure that I got that going. All right. The watch party's going. Gonna get this kicked off. Many years ago, a suspicious stalker by the name of Dmitry Vasilievich Polyagov, callsign Dozer, entered the zone. He crossed the outermost cordon with 9 others, including experienced stalkers Nikita Nikokov, aka Brute, a mercenary formerly based in Rostock, Shadow, a monolithian, unable to shake the attention the large and unlikely group had gained. They found their fortune amidst the ruins of the crumbling buildings and abandoned streets of the dead city. Some scavenged remains of the old military equipment. Others hunted mutant horrors that lurked in the shadows. The city, long since abandoned by any sane stalkers, had become a haven for the reckless and the desperate and the opportunistic. One day, as the sky appeared to boil, the skyline darkened, filling with hues of red, with the onset of another giant emission. A message came through. It was Sidorovich, a shady dealer who ran an operation in the cordon, his network of stalkers and contacts vast, and his words always carried weight. The stalkers gathered around the cracked radio receiver, the static crackling before the familiar voice came through. "Listen up, you lazy fools," Sidorovich barked, his voice slow but sharp. "There is work to be done. Meet me at the old warehouse. Got a job that'll make your petty scrounging seem like nothing. If you're smart, you'll move fast. The group exchanged looks, eyes narrowed with curiosity and skepticism. Sidarovich's deals were always risky, but they were the kind that could change everything. They didn't have to ask each other twice. The dead city had been kind to them, for now. But every stalker knew the zone could change and turn on you in an instant. As the storm raged outside, the lure of Sidarovich's offer was too strong, and so fate would write the final pages and the journals of this group, as they crossed paths with a group known as Sin on behalf of Sidarovich, and thus was put on a collision course with a group of stalkers known as S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Listen carefully. There is a group of bandits. These ones go by the name of Sin. They're hyper-aggressive, even by the zone standards. They've been terrorizing the outskirts of the dead city, running raids into Zaton and Rostock, killing without mercy. They've taken someone I need, a mercenary, well known in the trade, a professional, if you will. You'll find him in their camp alive, for now. The stalkers exchanged grim glances, their faces hardening as Sidarovich continued. Your job is simple. Get in and get him out, and make sure Sin never bothers anyone again. It's a risky one, but there's good pay in it. Enough to make it worth your while. They've been cornering the territory around the Red Forest and the political school in Pripyat. Getting bolder by the day. Don't fail me. There was a brief pause before a voice returned, colder than ever before. Dozer spoke with ice in his voice. Nikto kremi nas. No one but us. The group tracked Sin through the decaying ruins of the dense forest for weeks on end. The further they ventured, the more the zone seemed to shift, its twisted nature warping reality itself. The air grew thick with the stench of decay and danger as heads swam as the group neared the Scorcher. But the bandits' camp was still nowhere in sight. And just as they were starting to feel the weight of the zone pressing in, they stumbled into another group. Rough, unmistakable, the crew emerged from the shadows, their leader easily identifiable as Killa, the infamous psychopath, notorious for his blood-soaked reputation and background as former Spetsgruppe, stood at the front of a group of hard-eyed, heavily armed stalkers. The sight of Killa's crew made every stalker in the zone stiffen. They all knew of him, his cold indifference to human life and his penchant for the ruthlessness. You're hunting Sin too, huh? Killa's voice cut through the air like a knife, his grin unsettling, barely passing for a smile. Well, you've got good timing. We're on the same trail, though it seems you're a bit behind. We're going to deal with them ourselves, but there's 6 of us and 9 of you. Maybe we work together for now, though? There was a brief tense silence as the stalkers exchanged wary glances. Trusting Killa was impossible, but they couldn't afford to pass up the chance to take down Sin, and so reluctantly they agreed. The two groups moved forward cautiously, their combined numbers making their presence more formidable, though the unspoken tension never dissipated. Every step closer to Sin's camp brought them deeper into danger, and with Killa's crew now in the stalkers' tow, they had to watch their backs as much as they had to watch for the enemy. And then, when the dust had settled, the aftermath was as horrifying as expected. The bodies of Sin littered the ground, their twisted bodies mangled with blood, sweat, bile, fear, and agony. But not a single was left alive. The air was thick with the sound of scavenging. Killa walked over to the pile of Sin bodies, his grin wide as he surveyed the spoilers. spoils. Good work, boys. Now, let's see what we'll see what we've got here, he said, raising a rifle. His men, as expected, did nothing to hold back. They stripped the bodies clean. Weapons, armor, valuable artifacts, all of it. Then, a suppressed shot kicked off another whirlwind, and in just seconds, Killa's men had turned their guns, and our now fabled group lay dead or wounded. However, amidst the chaos of looting, there was one survivor. Riot. The name has become whispered with respect and fear among those who knew the deep zones and the zone's most dangerous secrets. Riot had made a name for himself as a guide, one of the few who could navigate the most treacherous areas, leading expeditions through places even the most seasoned of stalkers would not dare venture. Riot had been a prison escapee, which brought him to the zone in the first place, a rare misstep for someone of Killa's caliber. The stalkers had known that if anyone could survive Sin's brutality, it would be him. Weeks passed and Riot's name began to circulate again, this time with a dark edge. He had resurfaced, but not as the man he once was. The zone had a way of changing men that way, especially those who had survived it as long as Riot had. Now, Riot was being called to S.T.A.L.K.E.R, a place that held its own secrets. It was a place of danger, corruption, and intrigue. A place where the worst came to make deals, and had a contract unlike any Riot had ever seen. The job was risky, the price was steep, but Riot couldn't resist. The zone had a way of calling to those who had truly become one with it, and this contract, whatever it was about to push him further into its dark heart. The price was high and the stakes higher, and he had no idea what kind of monster he was about to face, but one thing was certain. When Riot was called, the zone itself shuddered with anticipation. Y'all ready to dive right in?
No, Captain.
Alrighty.
Get it?
Let me smack this. Also, Sarah, I don't know if you want a second viewpoint, but I am also streaming on YouTube. Alright. Getting into it. Session 1. Part 1. Revenge. This is 4 weeks after the ambush. And we've all been contacted by an unnamed benefactor inside the zone, told that we are to get ready within 90 hours and get in a Suburban when it shows up to our door. 3 up-armored black Suburbans race through the night. The cool air of the plains of Ukraine fill with the echoes of their modified diesel engines, while bright OLED lights pierce the purple and the black hues of the ether. The trio of armored black Suburbans cut through the foggy Ukrainian plains like shadowy phantoms, their engines growling low, steady rhythm that vibrates the earth beneath their wheels. Inside the armored cabins of the 3 Suburbans, the air is tense, laced with a mix of cigarette smoke and adrenaline. Each occupant is a soldier of fortune in their own right. Mercenaries bound by experience, skill, and unspoken understanding of the cost of survival. Their gear is stashed in compartments or strapped to their bodies: tactical vests, AK-47s, and night vision goggles, spare ammunition, and they are quiet, focused, their breath steady against the rumble of the engines. The driver in the lead Suburban is a grizzled veteran, his face withered by years in the field and the winds of foreign lands. His hands firmly grip the wheel, his eyes sharp, glinting in the glow of the LED lights. His voice is low when he speaks, almost as if the words may give away their position to unseen eyes in the dark. The others respect his silence. Experience commands this respect. And this driver has seen more than his share of firefights, ambushes, and roadside bombs. The mood is tense, thick with unspoken authority, and the kind of tension men well versed in danger carry with ease. Seated beside him in the passenger seat is Klipkona, the team's tech specialist, young, lean, and with his angular face shadowed by a thin beard. He types rapidly on a ruggedized laptop secured to a swivel mount. His blue light glasses reflect streams of tactical data, satellite feeds, and encrypted communications. He fidgets when he's not working, his knee bouncing slightly. His skills in cyber warfare have earned him a reputation. In the back seat is Alexander and Oleg. They sit like statues, their hulking frames clad in tactical armor, and weapons at the ready. Mikhail, the demolitions expert, cradles an AK-74 across his lap, his eyes half closed in what looks like calm. Though anyone who knows him would recognize, Alexander, not Michael, would recognize it as focus, allowing the surge of adrenaline to take hold. Oleg, the sniper, checks and rechecks components of his suppressed rifle, ready for months in the unfamiliar zone. In the back seat of the second vehicle, the atmosphere is markedly different. The quiet Jocasta Edwards sits upright, her posture tense but composed. The soft glow of a map light above her head illuminates her face, a sharp contrast to the hearted expressions of the men in the vehicle ahead. The men in the vehicles ahead. Beside her, occupying the opposite seat, is her surgery bag, a nondescript black duffel bag that holds the tools of her trade. Within its presence, both reassuring and ominous, it is her lifeline and a reminder of the grim task she has been trusted and thrust into. Jocasta's presence in the convoy is no accident. Humanitarian by nature, she had come to Ukraine on a medical relief mission. That mission took a sharp turn when she was contacted, or perhaps coerced, by shadowy intermediaries that made it clear her skills were required for a far more clandestine purpose. She finds herself flanked by armed men in a situation that feels both surreal and perilous. The convoy of the three Suburbans rolls through the night like specters, the growl of their engines softened as they approach the border checkpoint. By the first light of dawn begins to paint the horizon in muted pinks and oranges, the vehicles reach their destination, the silhouettes of the patrol zone cutting stark figures against the morning mist. So yeah, we're rolling up to the zone. What are you guys thinking? Most of us are in the same truck. That being myself, Armin, Oleg, your companion character, Glass. What's going through your minds?
I'm genuinely excited to be going into the zone. I'm here for it.
I'm focused. I'm trying to find some inner peace and prepare my mind for the mission.
Yeah. And that's all I say.
I'm definitely focused and looking around and super interested and excited to see what comes.
Hang on, I was supposed to have a picture.
It always works like that.
Yep.
Now I know. See, now I understand your pain, sir.
Here it is. So, we approach, and there's The image should change in just a moment. Okay. Super neat. Try that again. There we go. So, the sun comes up, and you can smell the stench of dead bodies. Like fresh kills. We see, as you can see on the right side, there's S.T.A.L.K.E.R walking around. There's guards up in the towers, and yeah. But continuing on, the border is a stark reminder of the tension in the region. A militarized zone layered with barbed wire, fortified watchtowers, and makeshift barricades. Russian S.T.A.L.K.E.R units, specialized paramilitary police, move in disciplined patterns along the perimeter, their dark uniforms blending into the subdued landscape. Armed with automatic rifles and body armor, their presence exudes authority and precision. Normally, this area would be patrolled by Ukraine's specialized troops, the Guardian Sentinels of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. The FSB operators now stationed here are no less conspicuous and no less imposing. They linger near communications stations and armored vehicles, their demeanor colder and more calculating than the S.T.A.L.K.E.R's overt vigilance. Faces hidden behind balaclavas, tactical goggles, they speak in clipped tones over encrypted radios, their conversations drowned out by static. As the convoy nears the checkpoint, the lead suburban slows to a crawl. Kipchak, his eyes narrowing, his sharp eyes scanning the checkpoint with the precision of a hawk. He observes the scene with practiced scrutiny, and his window lowers slightly just enough to reveal his face and a flash of identification. An FSB officer approaches, his stance rigid, his hand resting on the holster of his sidearm. Every detail registers within Kipchak, the placement of guards, the angle of floodlights, the faint hum of a drone overhead. Flanking the officer are two figures clad in a mishmash of tactical gear. Strides with an air of unorthodox confidence. This is Riot, a stalker, one of the enigmatic scavengers and freelancers often operating on the fringes of law and morality, his nickname stenciled in faded Cyrillic on the shoulder patch of his jacket. Riot's gear is rugged and practical. A reinforced ballistic vest, worn Partizani Gorka 3s, a bandana covering his lower face, an M1014 slung over his back completes the look, along with an assortment of pouches and a ruggedized backpack, bristling with antennas and gear. Riot's eyes, sharp and calculating, scan the convoy with detached curiosity, as someone of the zone accustomed to chaos and secrets does. Unlike the FSB officer, his movements lack the rigidity of military discipline, replaced instead by the fluidity of a survivor who thrives in uncertainty. When Riot's gaze meets Kipchak's through the partially lowered window, there is a moment of mutual acknowledgement, a subtle understanding of the roles they each play in this high-stakes environment. Riot's voice breaks the silence, casual yet tinged with an edge of dry humor.
So, this is a lot, huh? I hope you brought more than just fancy lights and thick armor.
The FSB officer shoots Riot a glance, his expression stern. Riot merely shrugs, unbothered. Kipchak, also unflinching. He responds in a low, deliberate tone. Fancy lights are enough to find what we're looking for. The real question is, are you ready for what's out there, S.T.A.L.K.E.R? Riot smirched beneath his bandana, his eyes gleaming with a mix of amusement and anticipation.
You don't know shit about what you're walking into. Shut the fuck up.
The FSB officer clears his throat, signaling to the two men that the end of the exchange has come. With a sharp nod to the guards manning the checkpoint, the barricade groans upward. The convoy is waved through. Riot follows alongside the vehicles on foot, his presence both a wild card and a necessary asset. And once we get to the gate, we are all step out and make our acquaintances. Obviously, you see myself fist bumping Riot here. Off behind me, we have Jocasta, Overkill, Oleg. I forget your call sign. What's your companion character's call sign, Mike?
Oh God, I don't even. I never made one up. We'll call him.
Jump.
Hang
Just
on.
kidding.
I'll check the. Oh yeah, we don't have one for him.
I didn't even think about it. So we'll call him. We'll call him Ural.
All right. There's Jocasta, Overkill, Ural, Araman, and oh yeah, that was supposed to be Marcus, but we don't have enough. We don't have enough space, so we got a random tagger along. And then there's Riot and Whisper. So yeah, we're making our acquaintances. We're outside the vehicles. All of us pretty much are starting to. Well, actually, I'll leave it up to you guys. You see, Whisper has the mask on. He's got something covering his face. Do you guys want to mask up already? Are you worried about potential contagions, or is this just something else?
I would have masked up as I got out of the car.
Yeah, I probably would have had. I would have had like a bandana or something on already. I probably seeing the guy who's talking shit to everybody only has a bandana on. I'll just go rock that at the moment.
All right. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
ahead and
same.
just.
I'm also gonna wear a surgical mask as well, but not the cheap ones. More like a cloth made one.
I'm gonna grab the masks that the PMC would have given us, the one that you see all our characters in the image wearing. I'm just gonna clip it to my helmet and just kind of stand there and look at everybody. Are we ready for this?
You'll
I
have to be.
I'm gonna take out my cigarettes and I'm going to light up a cigarette and look all cool and operator.
Since you're lighting a cigarette, one of my vexes being smoking, that's gonna trigger me. I'm gonna go ahead and unclip my mask. Also pull out some Russian cigarettes, and I'm gonna smoke as well. Oh wait,
And
actually,
what time of day is it?
it is very very early morning. Sun just came up.
Okay.
Perfect time for breakfast.
Oh God, guys, you really shouldn't do that first thing in the morning. It smells terrible, awful for your lungs.
I'm gonna look you dead in the eyes.
I
We're
hear it's part
going
of Stalker's breakfast.
we're going into the most radioactive, well, I suppose second most radioactive place on the planet, and you're worried about your lungs.
I'm gonna take a long drag off this cigarette. I'm gonna blow it in her direction, and I'm gonna say, "Don't worry, Queen Elizabeth. You'll be fine."
Yeah.
Klipkona, What have you got of the surrounding areas in the military checkpoint? I know you were working on your laptop on the way in. What do you know?
Only what I can really access. Currently, encryption is actually quite state of the art. I'm quite impressed by the Russian presence. But what I can say is that we have quite a bit of clean air, so to speak, as far as data transmissions goes, before the radiation actually starts impeding anything, especially like radios. Um, Other than that, I do have. Would I have any kind of like information, especially about emissions?
Oh yeah, you're the tech guy. You imagine basically like from the time that you boarded a plane in Finland and got transported to Ukraine, you've pretty much just been deep diving. And there isn't a whole lot that can't be accessed by you. What you can't access, you find on the dark web.
So what I do have is specifically uh, timers made up for what are called emissions. I believe our friend understands what these are, Mr. Wright. Correct? Um,
And
very bad things. We will need to make sure to be inside before they happen to us. I also have some communique about some of the factions running about. I might be able to intercept this or that, but there is strong military presence inside under the name of duty. That is to be looked out for.
Yes, I've heard of Duty. Our benefactor shares quarters with them currently due to. And hearing that noise, I'm going to turn, weapon slightly raised, and then look to Riot, who's just chilling there, because this is just noises of the zone.
Whisper and Riot are just gonna kind of chuckle to themselves. Believe it or not, this is one of the safer places that you can be before entering into the actual zone.
What is the point of this 30-foot wall?
It's not to keep us out, it's to keep everything in there in.
Hell
Oh,
yeah, sounds like good time.
I'm going to,
You've heard stories, I imagine, growing up about things going bump in the night. Things that your babushka would tell you to try and get you a little fright around a campfire. Everything that you've heard in those stories is true, and everything that you haven't heard is worse.
It is a different world once we cross this barrier. And I'm gonna nod at the rusting doors. The vehicle door shut from the Ukrainian military, welded shut, so nothing gets out. But the man door still works. And I'm going to say, I hear that you have already bribed the guards to get us in, but we will have to make our own deal with the military once we pass the wall.
Well, your intel is good, I'll give you that.
I'm gonna nod and just kind of motion towards the door. Well, while before it is full daybreak, I guess let's get going.
I go ahead and walk over to the door, have my bag. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to pull it out. Oh. Right, the container in the center is giving me some issues. I'm like not able to pull out the thing that I want.
Oh,
Is there a way to search inside of the container?
Yeah, you should be able to right
Oh,
click.
there is. Perfect. And remind me, I was paying these guys in rubles, yeah?
It was an artifact.
Oh yeah, it was. I don't have that in the container here, but I do oh, wait, is it in this one? Oh, don't shuffle the container. No, that's a hit die. I rummage around in my pack, and pull out something in a bag, a small. It's kind of like what you would find for, like, camping supplies, and I hand the bag to the man at the gate.
And there's two men on either side of the gate, both imaged in the Discord there. Very obviously FSB, and the one in the black shirt and black pants takes the artifact, and he kind of gives you a nod, and he says, "Good luck," and he lets you through, and he reaches up to shake Oleg's hand, and when you reach up, you notice that there's something in the hand.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that my character? My secondary character?
Yep, you'll be playing as him until we rescue you.
That's it. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to look at it right away. I'm going to just take it and turn around and walk off, or just continue walking.
You guys complete the handshake. The change of the item is made. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And I'm going to DM you what that item is. And then everybody else is pretty much let through. But as soon as you hear the door close behind us all, everybody's out of the Suburbans. Everybody's, leaving. Um, there's the distinct sound of the if you've played Squad, you guys have probably heard it, and potentially even in Arma, the distinct sound of Russian smoke grenade popping and then going off and billowing. Um, as that's going on, um, you start to see a blue smoke billowing, and it's on the opposite side of the wall. And distantly, you can hear Russian helicopters incoming, and they grow louder and louder. But we are walking towards the Ukrainian military checkpoint, and it's a good 500 meters. But I'm going to ask: is it normal for the Russians to be here?
In a general sense, no, but now, yes. As soon as we get to the checkpoint, we won't have any problems. I've squared away our safe passage through.
Got it. As far as the Russians go, I know you had to bribe them, so if there's anything that the mercenaries here can do for you, I can hook you up with my major, who I know you already talked to for the artifact itself. Um, and then I'm gonna kind of turn with, obviously, Riot and Whisper leading the group and all of you behind me. After that, I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group and say, he has arranged for us to get here. We have to pay our own way through, whatever that means to these ukes. And I'm just going to kind of motion with my head back towards the military checkpoint that we're coming up on.
As we're walking, I'm gonna just kind of turn my head a little bit just so that way it's easier to hear. So, what brings all of you tourists to my home?
I was contracted, I can't tell you by who, but I got a call and was told that the PMC that I work for is setting up a special missions unit. Prior to this, I've been in Syria and the Sino-Georgia War.
Mm,
I'm gonna turn to Klipkona. This is my technician. He does everything relating to electronics, including doors, and even a little bit of your specialized gear, like Geiger counters and such. And I'm just gonna motion to you to kind of uh, take it away, tell him your story.
Uh, well, career military, really. Been in the defense force for just shy of 8 years before striking out on my own, both in information technologies and in defense. Um, Always been a fan of the zone. I intercept pirate radio casts from you guys every now and then. Uh, Quite interesting stuff, really. Very, very interesting.
And I'll point to um, my brother's character, being, since he's not here, I'll fill in. My name is Mikhail Baratov. Overkill. Um, and he kind of adjusts himself a little bit. You can tell by his posture, he's seen a lot of war. Um, I've been to Chechnya, the Second Chechen War, Syria, Dagestan, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and more recently served under Mikhail Toltsich, Givi under Sparta Battalion and the Donetsk People's Republic. I
mm,
I know firearms, and you kind of see him mess around with his Romanian AK. It's got a 75 round drum. Weapon of choice is RPKM, but this is what the contractors gave me. Um, Mostly did a lot of convoy escorts with DSHK and NSV. But I can also get down and dirty with a weapon scope like Oleg here. The SVD and M14 EBR being my weapons of choice. And he's gonna kinda playfully punch Oleg in the shoulder and say, "What about you?"
I am Oleg. You call me Ural. I am former military. Nice to meet you.
And
What else you want to know?
Whisper's gonna Whisper's gonna look over at Oral as we're walking and point at him. I like you. You don't talk as much.
Eh, if you want to know, you ask. I tell.
I'll motion back to Joe Costa. And the female with us is a surgeon from England.
Nice to meet you all. I'm excited to be here, see what kind of weird shit we run into.
And
That's not normal for English lady, is it? That is weird for English lady. Where's proper act? She said shit. Aren't you supposed to be good people? English people supposed to talk nice and things like this.
I can still talk nice, you know. But I'm definitely not a proper English lady. You know, it's the modern times. Things have changed.
Oh,
I'm gonna take the last puff of a cigarette and flick it into the weeds beside us as we walk up to the military checkpoint. And
I'll do the same. I'm gonna stomp mine out under my foot though as we're walking and continue.
as we walk, um, Ukrainian soldiers come up to greet us, and he's gonna kind of point at Riot and whisper, "You too. I remember you. We let you through 6 hours ago, duh?
The
But you, and you, and all of the rest of you." And as he's kind of pointing at us, you can hear a megaphone in the distance over the helicopter, and there's a bunch of S.O.B.R dudes behind us, about 23 of them. But that's not really a concern. Um, you're supposed to make a deal, and I'm just gonna turn to Klipkona. What's his name? Fucking Karstunov or whatever. Some major that is here at this checkpoint. We need to speak to.
hmm.
Yes, we've made arrangements.
So the Ukrainian soldier kind of disappears. The rest of them very warily watching. They let Whisper and Riot through, and they're kind of chilling at the front face of the checkpoint that has all the weapons facing the zone. And this colonel comes out. This guy right here, and you can tell this guy spends a lot of time in the zone. He wears Russian camouflage, the new EMR stuff, but his gear is extremely highly specialized. It's got rubberized coatings. He's got the partial armoring of a Seva suit or a Sunrise suit, and all of that good stuff. He's got a mask on, and it's the Ukrainian military mask that you see him wearing a lot. And he's got his beret perfect. The flashing is above the right eye, and the beret is smoothed nicely over the left ear. His uniform is very tidy, pressed and clean. His boots are clean. You know this guy's old school just by looking at him. And I'm going to take over Korshtunov, and you mercenaries are going to have to negotiate your way into the zone.
Okay. Is he already here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna walk up to him because I recognize this guy as obviously former military because basically the cut of his jib. And I'm gonna walk up and I'm going to salute him and say, "Okay, so what does it take to get in?"
What are you willing to sacrifice, and what is your business in the zone?
I'm going with group. I was hired, so I'm doing job.
He's gonna kind of nod and fold his arms. And you're with the stalkers, those loners there, yeah?
I believe Whisper and Riot, right?
We both nod in unison.
And that said, I know you work for the same company that the rest of the mercenaries are here with. No doubt paid well.
Paid okay. Well is never enough.
He's gonna nod, kind of understanding. Like, yeah, it's not enough to be in this fucking shithole.
Yeah,
Duh.
so, take it easy on me.
He's gonna kind of look everybody over and notice that it's just super basic stalker gear that everybody has on. You know, normally when I run into you mercs, you have much better gear. Let's go inside, get out of this rain. You do not want to be outside when it is raining in this place.
Yeah. I'm
And
going to take out a little flask that I have. I'm going to hand it over to him as we walk inside.
he'll take a drink. What's in the flask?
Vodka, of course.
Ugh, Ruskaya vodka. I haven't had
Yeah.
vodka in 6 weeks.
So as ever walking, I'm going to turn around to the rest of the group, and I'm going to kind of lower my mask and give everybody like a grin, like, I'll get us in here, don't worry. And I'm just going to follow this guy inside.
And so yeah, as you guys go, everybody kind of piles inside this building. It's super close because this isn't a big building. It's not made for tens of people. But you guys enter, and the rain outside, for some odd reason, it makes your gut feel uneasy. But that's beside the point, right? So you guys are inside now. It's well lit, and Kurshanov sits down, and he sits back and folds his arms again, and he pulls out a little box of cigarettes and pulls one out for himself, lights it, passes around the pack and the lighter for everybody. Go ahead. So,
Yeah, thank you.
let's strike a deal, shall we?
Let's. What does it normally cost someone to get into the zone?
Well,
I understand
normally,
it's not always monetarily speaking, but
what do your group have in terms of artifact?
what the fuck is an artifact?
Oh shit, you're new. Have you ever
Yeah.
been here before?
Me personally, no, I've not been here. I am excited though. Looks fun. I look on dark web and see weird shit.
The zone, this place, beyond that wall you came from, transcends reality. This place is unexplainable. It is where reality makes for discovery, and discovery is often banned by the outside world. What has been discovered here is some of the most closely guarded secrets by any government on the planet. What takes place here, nobody really knows about on the mainland. And even worse, the things that exist here, the mutants, the horrors in the night, the things that people have to do to survive. He stands up and kind of leans forward, and narrowing his eyes at you, he says, "You will soon realize that the type of man that comes here has nothing left to lose. And thus, they are just as deadly as any radiation, chemical, or anomaly." And he says, Since you're tourists, as we call them here, money shall do. And
Look, yeah.
he kind of points at his desk, but as you as his finger hits his desk, you hear, to those of you military guys, the distinct sound of thwap and poof. Somebody has been shot by a suppressed weapon outside. And very, very, very quickly, the Ukrainian military guys try to leave the building, and it's just followed by more suppressed weapons shots. And,
Uh, I am going. Is there a desk or anything in here?
yep, directly in front of you, Khrushchev is behind it.
I'm gonna look at him and say, "You know what the fuck that is?" And I'm gonna get up and I'm going to. I'm not gonna go outside, but I'm gonna move to the entrance, and I'm gonna kind of get on one side of the door.
As you see that, you see Whisper and Raya outside, hands away from any of their weapons. And you look, you kind of pie the corner with your scoped rifle, and you see all of those S.O.B.R dudes advancing at gunpoint. And they just breach. They disregard you. The one who goes right, as I imagine you'd be on the outside swing of the door, the one who goes
Mm-hmm.
right just steps on past you and kind of forces you up against the wall. And he says, "Clear." And he continues with the stack. And within just a few short seconds, um, Korshinov's in cuffs. And those two FSB guys have him bent over. And he's the only survivor of the military checkpoint. The rest are all dead. So we again regroup outside. The SOBR and FSB leave.
Well, I guess we don't have to pay to get inside.
I'm gonna address Oral. I told you that we would be able to get through with no issue. Now let's move.
What the fuck is this? That the FSB is just killing.
Sometimes you have to feed a monster in order to get by.
I'm just gonna kind of nod shallowly at that. Okay.
And on that note, I'm gonna take another cig, or I'm gonna finish the cigarette that I had. It was probably like I feel like I was pressed up against the wall while this guy cleared, and I played like the typical like Russian with the cigarette hanging half out of his mouth while it's happening, sort of thing.
While the
I'm just gonna
world
like, what the
passes him
fuck?
by.
Yeah. And so I'm just gonna like, whatever, and I'm gonna flick the rest of the cigarette off the sun. Let's go.
I'm gonna point to Riot. You have the keys for the Land Rover, duh.
You can see that my eyes narrow at you when you say that. And I just kind of
I,
nod a little bit.
I
I reach
know who,
into one of my dump pouches and jingle the keys.
I know who we were sent to rescue. He is my commanding officer, and I'm just going to say, great, you know the place. You're driving, and I'm gonna usher everybody towards the Land Raider that would have been parked in some weirdest obscure area that the Ukes put it, and we'll there's gonna be a lot of us trying to get in. All the gear will probably fit in the back, and some of us are gonna have to grab onto the running boards. And
I'll grab onto the running board. I don't mind.
yeah, I'll hop on outside as well. And so yeah, we start our trek into the zone, and I'm gonna quickly save. And this is the map. So give it just a moment.
So, are we in the SUV at this point?
Mm-hmm.
So, Riot, where are you sitting in the SUV?
I'm driving. Whisper is in my passenger seat.
Okay, I'm on the passenger rail. I'm gonna lean over to the passenger, uh, and I'm gonna say, next time, let me know. I won't waste my vodka. Shit.
So we just passed here, the military checkpoint. And yes, it's in English.
Holy shit.
Hooray!
So we
Hooray for
begin.
a language I can read.
We pass the stalkers there at Rookie Village, and as we're going by, you guys would be able to see some of the very ill-equipped rookies of the Cordon. And what do you think as we pass those guys? These dudes are wearing like blue jeans and a leather jacket. Some of them don't even have face masks or anything to cover their face.
Poor bastards.
I'm gonna I'm just gonna wave as we drive past.
I recommend that you don't do that. It'll give them a reason to shoot you.
Good point.
The loners don't like us?
Well, if they're wearing the loner patch, they should be fine. But others, they're wearing that patch because they stole it off of a loner.
Oh, short. So we have intermingling factions, so to say.
Around here, you can only trust people as far as you can throw them, and everyone is built like a shit brick house.
Fair enough. And
You would all do well to keep to yourselves and keep tight lips. That's how you stay alive.
we're passing this kind of area. We can see the vehicle station and the first camp of Dozer and his group at the grain elevator before that got taken over by bandits again. And we pass and once again come up to the checkpoint, or another checkpoint, a military checkpoint, and it's Ukrainian soldiers. They hold a hand up and they see um, Riot and they see uh, Whisper and they say, "Your fancy Toyota again, huh?"
Just got it back from the shop.
He's gonna nod and he says, "Lots more friends this time." He's gonna look at everybody in the vehicle with, super heavily armed mercenaries. More of you than there are of us. Go ahead and go. And we go through, passing through here.
I give him a quick spasiba before we go.
And as we pass Northern Farm and Fox's camp, more loners. And then there's the infamous death truck of Strelok. And finally, we hit another outpost. We get through that fairly easily. And on the far side of the garbage, as we go through the garbage, we see a lot of people startled by a working vehicle in this part of the zone. As we start heading through the garbage, is there anything you guys want to...
I'm gonna put my actual mask on. As we've gotten this far in, I'm actually gonna wear my legit mask now.
I see this and I just shake my head. Even through the filters, it doesn't help. It smells like shit.
Yeah, but hey, better than radiation.
Whisper's gonna look back to the group. There's a reason why they call this the garbage.
I'm going to kind of nod to Klipkona. From what he's told me, it's not much about what you breathe. At least when you're not around chemicals, but more so the dust in the air. You don't want to breathe that, and you don't want it on you, and you don't want the rain on you either, apparently, according to the military. And as we're having this conversation, we're screaming at like probably 65, 70 past the train hangar. There's a ton of bandits outside, all racking AKs as we pass, and just super startled. Like there's a bright white fucking vehicle zooming through the zone.
Are they actually aiming their rifles at us?
Nah, by the time they get a chance to, we're long gone.
Cool.
People look like they haven't seen a car in fucking their entire lives.
He's awfully
In the
clean.
zone, it's rare that you see anything that works. It's especially rare to be seeing a vehicle that you don't only use as cover.
I've heard helicopters are used quite often.
Helicopters are used by military. We're not military.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
And we eventually approach the duty checkpoint, and another stalker comes up to us, and he introduces himself. His name is My name is Artyom Kravchenko. I'll be tagging along with you. And he pulls out an identifying chip that has Mercenary Corps markings on it. I've been instructed by your major at Rostock to act as a surgeon at your forward camps. And he says, there's a female along with you that I am supposed to assist if needed. Right?
Duh.
Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, she's in the back.
And he just kind of hops on the running boards.
Elizabeth.
Sorry, go ahead.
I said it's not Queen Elizabeth. It's Jocasta. But thanks for trying.
Whatever.
And the guy kind of tosses a small stringy substance at one of the gate guards, and the gate opens, and we are past the first duty checkpoint. The duty stalker in command of this checkpoint, he comes up and he says to us, everybody in Rostock is impatiently waiting your arrival. You will have to proceed on foot from there to the Red Forest. You understand that when you enter, beyond here, there is nothing good. Your entire reality, your perception of the world, and humanity itself is going to change. You know this, yes?
So I've heard.
And the gate flies open, and he says, good hunting, Stalker. And we head through the duty checkpoint. We get through Dark Valley. Mercenaries and duty led us through the checkpoints here, and we're out the other side. Do we want to go on foot?
Knowing that Riot and Whisper are on good terms with these guys, specifically the mercenaries, I'm going to find a spot to park the vehicle and I'm gonna turn around before getting out and face the group. There's a reason why everything has been said and repeated. You will see soon enough. Get out.
I'm just gonna nod and hop off the running boards.
Yeah, I'm deferring to the tour guide.
I'm gonna do the same as I hit the ground. I'm gonna check my weapon, make sure I have a round chambered.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop the bolt of my my scar, and obviously, as that happens, you see a bunch of the duty dudes get a little nervous, but we share barracks with them. They know the blue colors. They know that we don't mean harm, so they kind of they focus up and then they stand down again.
Yeah. I just give him a little wave as I check to see that my shotgun is on safe. Make sure that I have all my shit together.
One of the duty stalkers is just gonna walk up. Hey, it's Riot.
The size and character. And how is your war effort?
He kind of looks at a board that's on his wrist. He's wearing one of the exosuits. He says, according to PDA right now, the military base is under attack by Freedom, but is not really anything we haven't seen before. And you can hear that in the distance. You can hear the smattering of gunfire very close, just over the hill.
Any reports on mutant attacks?
Bloodsucker Village is stirring as always, my friend. Red Forest is like, I don't know, something is going on. The zone knows something is about to happen. And he looks at all the mercenaries behind you. He says, I think everybody knows what's about to happen.
The zone knew before we entered.
He's gonna nod. And,
I
go ahead.
have to check the weather to see what we're going to be going up against for the remainder of the day. And I look to the group. Find something to do. Mingle. Buy something. I don't care. If it's going to continue raining, we might have to wait here. Regardless, there's a firefight going on just north of here, and I don't want to have to trudge on through it. It doesn't concern us.
Live and let live. I respect that. And,
Yeah, well, where can I take piss?
Find a tree.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
I'm gonna point at,
I'll take a piss real quick.
Gotcha. So as we are at the area here in Rostock, available amenities. There's a bar. There's an arena where there's fights, fist fights, sometimes mutant fights, sometimes mutants fight people, sometimes people fight mutants. Sometimes any of those aforementioned details, someone survives. But it's blood sport. And there's also some of the best gear in this part of the zone under a man named Yevgeny. Hang on. That's not correct. He's deeper in the zone. Who is the Rostock trader? Oh.
So, in character, in the arena, what do they do with the bodies after after one of them essentially doesn't survive?
Usually they're discarded into the construction area, which is far too heavily radiated. Oh, sorry. So this is one of the duty stalkers telling you. They're tossed into the construction area where they're eaten by the mutants.
Wasted opportunity.
What do you mean?
There's so much information to be had. We could explore their bodies. We could open them up and see what they have inside the mutants. Oh, hell, even the humans. Why not both?
I'm gonna hear this coming back from taking a piss and say, "What the fuck did I come back to?"
Morbid curiosity of another foreigner.
Oh, well, at least you fit in here better than I do, apparently.
In character, I'm just gonna laugh and, uh, yeah. What I like exploratory surgery. We'll call it.
English lady freaky, holy shit.
Uh, in those after that, I would like to offer the first round on me.
Oh, we will not turn that down.
So we
Yeah,
head
I'll go
through.
to the bar.
Yeah, we head down into 100 Rand's bar. A some tunes are played downstairs, and so we walk down into the bar. There's the hum of distant chatter, and the bar goers. As we get down into, you take a flight of stairs, and there's a guy behind a like bars, not like a bar, but like steel bars. And he says, "Come in, don't just stand there."
Okay. I will walk in the bar.
Swanky area you got here.
You are greeted by kind of a dirty old man. He's very, very, very worn, and he looks every hour of his age. And he raises a bottle of vodka up, and he says, "Ah, more mercenaries, more money to be made. Welcome, friends." And he's going to kind of motion. You see duty, you see freedom, you see bandits, you see loners, you see mercenaries, and you see one of our own. And he quickly comes up to you, and he pokes you in the chest, Oleg. He says, "Not now. We need to continue.
Okay.
Leave everything you don't need for the mission. Follow me. Come on, come on, come on." And he's going to slide 100 to the bar cab and grab the bottle out of his hands. And
Okay, never mind then. Let's go.
he takes you guys to an orange brick building that's overlooking
Everyone, a moment of your time.
kind of an open area over by the construction site. And when you guys arrive, there's a whole bunch of other mercenaries. One dude that you see who's guarding the door, he's got a really deep scar and some bone missing in his eye socket. and his right eye isn't there. And he kind of gives you a nod as you come in. He immediately just gets out of your way. He says, "Just put your stuff at the back end of the building." And the guy who's taking you here kind of rushes back. He says, "Just put everything down and go. Duty will secure the entrance to the swamp and the Bloodsucker village past that. That is easiest way into the Red Forest towards Witch's Round. You need to go very quickly. A situation is developing. I was told to tell you." And he says,
Whoa.
holding up the bottle of vodka, "This when you get back." And he puts it down on the concrete.
Well, okay. Well, guys, I guess we are going. Shit.
Is Riot with us?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I turned to Riot. I thought you said there was issue up.
The issue seemed to have gotten larger. We move.
The
That's what I do.
the mercenary, he kind of shakes his finger agreeingly towards Riot. He says, yes. The duty has resisted the attack, and they are taking the attack on in. The radar station will soon fall. But while this break is still at hand, we need to take advantage of it. The Bloodsucker village will be wiped out, and all of these zombies and anything else will be taken care of on their advance. It is important that you follow this advance. They will let you through the gate. And he hands you, Riot, something in kind of a handshake, and he says, just kind of pulling you in close, he says, "Just give them this at the gate, you'll get through." And he says, "Now go quickly. Our radio frequency is 36. Give us updates. We are Blackbeard." And he turns away.
I pull out my radio, turn it to 36, and I just get up, old man noise. Just as I get up, grab my shotgun, look over to the guy, "Spasiba," and I just fucking motion with my hand for everybody else to fucking move, and I just start walking. Well, not walking, but I'll do like a light jog. Whisper, of course, following soon, encouraging everybody to pick up the pace.
I'm
Follow in suit.
Kipchak is going to immediately start unpacking gear. Some of it linked up with Clipkona's, some of it not. And he says, "I'll watch you guys on the PDA and BattleNet from here, but there are some things I need to take care of to make sure that we have a solid tracking device on our friend." And I'm just going to disappear into the black, and yeah, you guys all head on out. You guys are back out, leaving the Rostock area. And once you leave Rostock, you get into Dark Valley, and it's something that you've never seen anything quite like this before. What do you think?
I'm just gonna kind of like scan around and try and process exactly what I'm seeing.
I'm just taking in as much as possible as we're like jogging, taking in all like the down houses and whatnot.
as you guys pass through Bloodsucker Village. You all have goosebumps as you can't shake the feeling of something watching you. There's duty all over the place and occasional smatterings of gunfire, but you just can't help but feel like you're being watched.
What, exactly what are bloodsuckers? I'll ask Riot as we're moving along.
Imagine a squid, and I'll put that squid's face on a man and make it big. It does exactly what you think it does. You'll be lucky if it kills you quick.
Oh. Fuck. Okay.
The duty
As fast
stalker.
as they are big. Go ahead.
The duty stalker that's hitching along with us. He says, "Lucky if they kill you is right. They aren't known to leave survivors, but when they do, I have treated many men, or I should say, attempted to treat many men who have gone completely insane. The mind is just dead."
Huh. Interesting. Who else has been to Syria? It's like time. It's like eating too much Arab food. Your mind just die.
Overkill and uh oh wait, Kipchak's not there. Overkill will raise his hand.
Yeah. Let's let's not find any bloodsuckers. I don't like the way that sounds.
It's not our choice whether or not we fight them.
They are apex predators. We won't see them unless they want to be seen.
Okay. So how do you kill them? You can shoot them, right?
Uh, Whisper is just gonna, as we're jogging along, look back with like a face of like just confusion. Like, why would you ask a question like that? And he says, "My advice: aim for the legs if you're trying to get away. Outside of that, fatality and head.
Okay. Well, okay. That's so I can kill it. Okay. So at least I have chance.
They're not
Some
vampires.
Sometimes you have a chance. If there's more than one, well, I thank God we're in such a large group. More guns means more of a hope of survival."
Well, let's just move quickly then.
And as you guys hear that really low rumble, he says, "Oh, also, there is a giant in the swamps.
Oh,
Like, giant. Like in video games, giant."
How big, giant?
Imagine
Nobody's...
a riot's gonna pipe up. Imagine a building. Now make that building walk and want to kill you. Under no circumstances do we engage it unless we have to.
Exactly.
it's like Anunnaki.
As nobody's seen it since 2006, we aren't able to get ecologists to document it because, well, simply put, it is the beast of the swamp. It does not want to be disturbed, and we don't disturb it because we don't want to unleash another fucking Godzilla. The world is best without kaiju.
And how?
And
Okay.
He's gonna kind of smile at the experienced stalkers and give them a quick wink. And so as you guys jog, you come up across the checkpoint at the Red Forest. Or would you guys rather go into Pripyat or go into the Red Forest first?
It's a good question.
I'm gonna leave it up to you. You're the guide, so
Mm-hmm. Man, the Red Forest is spooky as fuck, but Pripyat is a different kind of spooky.
The duty stalkers at the Red Forest gate. You see them looting the bodies of the monolith. And suddenly, as you guys approach the duty stalkers, you guys all kind of double over for a moment. Just there's an intense ringing in your ears. The space behind your eyes hurts like there's a knife going into your brain. And you almost want to get down on your knees. And even some of the duty stalkers hunch over. And all of you, almost in unison, look into the Red Forest. And there is a skull. Just a skinless bone, just a skull. And it says, Idi komnie. Zavrachon Chilovik. Idi komnie.
We're going to Pripyat.
what the fuck is that?
We're supposed to go in there.
Don't look at it.
I'm not looking at anything. Let's go. Pripyat it is. Fuck. Fucking floating skulls and shit. What the fuck is going on here?
No shit was bad and didn't know it was that bad.
When you guys kind of come out of this spell, you're already through the Red Forest gate, and you're passing Witch's dugout, or the anomalous dugout. And there's just kind of a weird lapse in your memory. And the duty stalkers are kind of marching with you in a staggered column, either side of the road, perfect ruck formation. And then they stop and they say, "We can't go beyond this point, but if you need us," he points at his PDA and pokes a couple buttons, and you all hear, "Bidididoo," and you all get his information uploaded. "You talk to me, we'll come fuck him up for you."
Do you have a radio?
He pulls it out, and as he pulls it out, it unravels in his pocket. He goes, "Fucking bullets, man."
Understood. If we need you, I'll find you on the PDA.
He kind of scoops the radio from the bottom of it with his hand and shoves it back, all of the little electronic bips and bobs, into his pocket. And he gives you kind of an informal salute. He says, "Good hunting, stalkers. Good luck out there, tourists." And he smiles and then just kind of turns around. And you hear laughter as the duty guys walk back to their checkpoint. And
Once they're out of earshot, I'm gonna pull out my radio. Checking in 36. How copy?
Blackbeard, Maine. Copy on all. What's your current location?
Blackbeard, Maine. This is Riot. A group has just made it inside of the Red Forest.
Solid copy, Red Forest. We'll be monitoring your progress, and you hear a beeping on your PDA. "Okay, I have your position now. Best of luck. There is no turning back now. Godspeed."
Solid copy. Riot out.
Blackbeard, out. And the radio just kind of goes cluck.
Turning to face the group. All right. Blackbeard has better eyes on where we are now. We continue moving.
Okay.
Am I weird to think that we were just talking about going to Turkey?
We didn't, but that was in our minds.
What do
Sometimes
you mean?
the zone has a path before you. So,
Is what do you mean? It is in our minds. What the fuck is? We had. I swear to God, we had conversation. Go to Pripyat. Never mind. I don't know. I'm gonna take a cigarette out and I'm gonna light a cigarette.
What time of day is it now?
um, it's getting closer to sunset. We've been walking all day at this point, miles upon miles, probably about 36 kilometers. And right now, as the sun begins to fade away, um, Riot has expertly tracked us through anomaly fields, chemical fields, through the Red Forest and all of its dangers, all of its decay, all of its hell, and all of its reality bending sights and sounds. And we come to a hilltop overlooking the location that's on our PDA. And the radio crackles to life in its Kipjack. Blackbeard to all units, be advised, you are closing on the target area. Alexander is still alive, we think, but we don't have any signal of him on PDA. We think the bandits may have it, but remember, this is sin. These aren't just normal bandits. Um, Execute with extreme prejudice, leave no survivors, leave no evidence. Clean up your casings, make it look like the monolith hit them, and leave. As soon... Sorry. As soon as you have Alexander, get out of there. The monolith are headed towards your location. You have 30 minutes, approximately.
I thought maybe you were channeling the monolith there for a second.
Riot looks to the group, checking over his weapons a couple of more times. All right, you heard him. Show me what you can do.
Alright.
Look, yeah.
How do you guys want to go about this?
How many people are there in this compound that we can see?
Go ahead and roll me a perception. Um, I guess investigation.
Okay. So, yeah, not my strongest suit. So perception is a 5, so I get a -2 to that, and my investigation is 5. So here we go, boys. Let's see here. What am I rolling here? What kind of die?
All of your die are over here. If you hover over them, each one has a
Oh, I see him. I see him. Okay, I got you. Dexterity, intelligence, perception. Okay. An 8. So with a -3, so a 5.
All right. You
No, it's a
can
-2, so it's a 6. But that's just as bad.
you can see that there are 5 buildings in the compound. But there's a lot of figures moving, but you can't get how many. Would everybody like to roll me quickly a reaction?
Yeah.
I'll roll one for my brother's character. It's the purple die right there. Oh, that's dog shit.
I rolled an 8.
Alright,
So
what?
10.
With your reaction score added to that?
Oh, added, it is a 17.
14.
22.
Alright, it looks like Glassic, you'll be going first. And then who was next? You got a 14, right?
Somebody had an 18, I thought. Rib, didn't you have an 18?
I got a 17.
Oh, 17.
Gotcha. Alright, so it'll be Rib, or Mike, Rib, Aramin,
Oh,
myself, and then
I gotta roll for
Jocasta.
Sarah. Hold on.
Oh,
Yep,
gotcha.
I'll roll for her. I forgot she's not on tabletop. She got a 2. And with the added reaction...
19.
Oh, holy shit,
Okay.
that's not bad.
So it'll be Mike, Sarah, Rib, Aramin, then myself, playing as the machine gunner. So, just kind of looking around, not taking over my brother's character, I'm going to point to Glass and say, you've got a long distance rifle. It may be better that you stay on the hill here.
Okay, that is my specialty, so yeah. So I'll prop my rifle up on this log that on one of these branches that that's in front of us on the log, and kind of wedge it between the log and the branch so I can steady it. And I'll start scanning the village.
As you scan,
See,
you start seeing movement. Would you like to kind of focus your scope on some of these guys?
yeah, I will. The first one that is easiest to see, I will. It's one that's more in the light than the rest, so I can get a good picture, essentially.
He's up on a rooftop, and you can see him looking your direction, looking in the direction of the stalkers, but not seeing. And he's scanning, glassing the horizon. And slung on his chest, he has a double-barrel shotgun, a side-by-side. The break opens, and he's just aimlessly looking. And as you focus on the guy, as he's glassing the horizon, you notice he has no eyes in their eye sockets, but he functions perfectly as if he can see.
What the? I'm gonna take my eye out of the scope for a second, and I'm actually gonna like look at the front of my scope, and kind of clean the lens, and then I'm gonna go and look back through the scope and try and look at the guy again and see if it still looks the same.
When you find him again, you put your crosshairs back on his head and you're watching him. He's holding a push-to-talk button on his radio, and he's chattering something in Ukrainian. And he looks around, and you see again as his glance kind of passes over your direction. There's no eyes in the skull. He appears to be wearing bandit garb though. Long trench coat, tattered. The fingernails are gone on his hands. Um, the very tips of the hands, the flesh is worn away to the bone.
I'm just gonna look over at the rest of the group. I'm saying, there's one on the roof. There's plenty around. How can something not have eyes and see?
Whisper's gonna look eyes wide at an Oral when he says that. What?
The duty
How can
stalker with you guys, he pipes up. He says, "This is sin. There's much worse in Pripyat." And with that recent gunshot there, you look through your scope after you hear a snap, and he's exchanging rounds at you guys. Not accurately, but he's throwing rounds at you.
I'm gonna pop the guy that I just saw in the tower.
All right.
I'm gonna aim for. Looking at him, does it look like he's got body armor on?
Nope.
I'm gonna put one right dead center in his chest.
Go ahead and roll me a d20 and then a hit die.
Okay.
Ooh, never mind. You fucking line
I'm
up
rolling like shit.
and you send a round, and it passes over him, and he quickly, you can see him kind of duck down, and he points in the direction of the stalkers, and all of a sudden the compound comes to life. There's a whole bunch of them. There's about 15, we'll say, and they start running up the hill with shotguns and their jackets and whatnot, and as you're scanning past them, you notice none of them have eyes in their sockets.
Well, we have a bunch of blind guys coming to kill us, so.
Would you like to go ahead and take another shot at that guy?
Yeah, I'll try and put another one in his center mass.
Alrighty.
See if I can roll better than last time. That was terrible. An 8.
Alright. Go ahead and roll a hit die. Alright. You're starting to notice the windage. As you're firing, or as you send this round down range, you take the hand that is his support hand on his shotgun clean off. The 7.62 just eviscerates the hand.
That'll keep him quiet for a second.
And anybody else? Let's go over to Jocasta. Jocasta, would you like to begin returning fire or lead the assault on the compound?
I will absolutely return fire.
Alright, so you hunker down behind this giant tree that you guys are all kind of behind. You lean up against it and really put all your weight into the butt of the AK and pin it down with your support hand onto the wood. And go ahead and, Mike, go ahead and roll for me.
God, I'm sorry, 'cause I'm rolling terribly.
Do you want me to roll for you, Sarah?
See, maybe I can.
Oh,
wait.
there
No,
you
there
go.
we go. She gets my good roll.
Go ahead and roll for a hit.
Okay.
Oh, foot. The round that you send takes a leg out just below the shin. The ankle is destroyed, and the stalker falls into his own bile. Also, don't forget 27, 26. Oops, sorry, that was 4. I messed that up. And then 29 for her. Okay. Rib, over to you. You have, remember, armor-piercing buck, dragon's breath, and I forget what else we discussed.
Those are the
Frag.
two that I remember as well. Oh shit. Um. So when I look over, actually, fuck. Are there any of them that are like clumped up right now, or are they just kind of all
Yeah,
individuals just fighting?
they're all kind of just staggering their way up the hill. All they got is shotguns. Some of them pump, some of them the side by side, some of them over under, but all just
Mhm.
shotguns and pistols and such.
We light up the night. I have Dragon's Breath loaded.
Alrighty. And go ahead and give them 3 rounds.
All right. Do I add anything to these rolls, or is it just like a flat roll?
It's just a fat roll. Flat, I mean.
Hey, yo, this roll's pretty fat. All right. So the first one is 11.
Hell yeah. Alright, go ahead and take the 3 from your shotgun. As, oh, there you go. As you're firing at these guys, boom, load, boom, load, boom. And, you see the dragon's breath landing on clothes, starting flames, and Whisper immediately takes that as his signal. And you guys have been working together for a period of about 4 months now. You guys know each other's combat style pretty well, and he knows this routine. And he follows up just 3-round bursts on each of the people that's on fire. Just brr, 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 and he lifts his AK into the air and stands tall, and he says, "Somebody get the fuck in that compound," and loads a new magazine into his AK, and fucking slams around into battery, and he goes, "Kona," or whatever the fuck your name is, and whoever else, just get down in there quickly. Um, so, Ribcage, as it's still your turn, would you like to lead the assault?
Yeah. I'm just gonna charge straight the fuck in.
Alrighty. Whisper's gonna follow right behind you. Clipkona, are you following right behind?
Yeah.
Alright. My brother will follow behind as well. And, Sarah and Mike, do you guys want to stay up on the hill and give cover fire?
I will indeed stay up here with the long range rifle and try and pick guys off.
Alright, so
Always prepped.
as you guys can kind of see from the picture, there's a barn, and then a long cattle barn. So you guys would kind of go up the axis of this next hill over kind of behind the right side of the picture, and then down in, start clearing the buildings as you go. And Mike, as you watch the assault team near the first building, you see a couple of guys enter from the opposite door, and you can see one of them as he's moving gun up towards where the team on the opposite side of the house is stacking up to make entry. Do you want to take that shot?
Can I radio to them? Oh yeah, no, I'll take the shot. Absolutely. If I can take the shot before he goes in the house, definitely I will take the shot.
Absolutely.
Oh.
15. All right.
15. You take it.
Go ahead and roll hit die. Ooh, there you go. You hit him in the tricep, and the arm kind of goes limp, and the stalkers that are stacking up hear that snap, and they can recognize where that came from, hearing that distant silenced shot, and now the stalker on the other side. Go ahead and, as he's panicking, put another round into him. Just roll hit die.
Absolutely.
Oh, there you
Oh
go.
yeah.
You hear
Pink mist.
the assault team just hears another thwack, and then the sound of essentially, if you've ever shot a watermelon with a rifle round, that kind of sound, the exploding fleshy sound. And there is viscera that's coating these orange brick walls, as the head with a 7.62 is like shooting a 45 with an apple. It just kind of pops. The other guy is able to get into the door, and he's advancing through the house. Assault team. Oh wait, Sarah, you're up giving covering fire. It would go to Ribcage then.
All right. So, it's getting deeper on in. Obviously Riot is at the front of the stack. Fucking shotgun ready. Yeah, I'm just gonna have Whisper get on the other side of the door of the building directly in front of me, and we're gonna stack up to breach.
Alright, as soon as you open the door a little tiny ways, he's already got his suppressor pushing through. He's first in, and he sees this guy, and he drills him with 3 rounds. Let's see if he does the boom boom.
All right, let me roll for it.
I'm rolling hit die. So he first round
Oh.
hits the guy in the arm. Second guy is foot, and then other arm. The guy's definitely incapacitated. You're in right behind him. This all happening in the span of about a second and a half. He just forces himself through the door. Boom, boom, boom. The suppressed shots echoing on the bottom floor of this compound, or on this building. You come over his right shoulder and send Dragon's Breath round right into the chest of this guy, and he starts to burn alive. The rest of the team is filling in with you. Building is clear. You guys prepare to move to the next one, but you are under fire. There's shotgun pellets and buckshot smacking the bricks, chipping brick dust off, and the clock is ticking. You guys kind of remember that the monolith are on their way, and how you guys gonna pull this one off? One of 6 buildings is clear.
Can I see movement in any of the other buildings from where I'm at?
Go ahead and roll me perception. That'll be this purple one. Oh wait, no, that's reaction. Let's see here. Intelligence, strength, endurance.
It's the orange
There
one
it is.
right here. Come on, rolling. Roll good, because I get a -2 anyway.
There we go.
14.
All right, yeah. Through your rifle scope, you see the 2 dudes who are trying to keep the stalkers suppressed in that building, and one of them looks like he's searching for a grenade in his belt.
Can I hit him, or is he behind cover?
Oh, he's out in the open.
Oh, well, I'm gonna shoot him.
All right.
I mean, might as well, right?
Exactly.
He's shooting at my brothers. You can't do that. Stop it.
Oh.
Stop it. Get some help. 16.
All right. Go ahead and roll the hit die.
I'm gonna have Michael Jordan give him some help here. From downtown.
Oh. You guys see this dude rummaging around on his belt, and then you just hear that nice little suppressed thwap, and then missed. And the other guy kind of ceases his fire and tries to find cover, but it's actually in a more disadvantageous spot. These people, they can't see yet they see. However, they don't have a true grasp on everything that's around them, as they rely on kind of an echolocation type of thing. So he actually puts himself in a worse situation than before, putting himself still in perfect line of sight of Sarah and Glass, and Sarah's gonna send a burst down, and it's gonna carve him up, kidneys, spine, and shoulder, and he just kind of explodes forward, viscera out in front of him, and then falls into it. And the route is clear. My brother's character, Overkill, he's gonna say, "Okay, we're ready," and he's going to give a burst as he runs to the next building, just bursting inside it. And let's see here. All right, he enters the building, and with a series of rounds, as he's still rattling rounds off with that 75 round drum, takes one of the stalker's fucking arms off. And Clip-Kona, you're right behind him. You see this stalker, blood just gushing out of this stump.
Pretty gnarly.
Are you gonna finish him off?
Yeah, I'll put a couple rounds into him.
Alrighty, go ahead, and we've just been rolling the red die, even though that's our endurance die. And then if it's above a 15, go ahead and roll the hit die.
That's 7.
Oh, alright. You send some rounds, and the guy just kind of absorbs them. You're using 545 at a super close range, and so they don't really have time to dispense that energy. They just go straight through him, and he's still just kind of like, ugh, making that kind of noise. And he stumbles forward and collapses. My brother puts a round in his head, and Clip and Overkill, you guys finish securing that building, and take out 2 more as you guys are swinging on through. Rib, yourself, Whisper are inside. There you go, inside of that previous building, and so you have 2 of 5 buildings secure. You guys regroup with Clip and Overkill, and you can see the target building. And your radio kind of crackles to life. That long building, the cattle shed, that's the one.
I'm gonna tell Whisper to provide overwatch for me as I go towards the cattle shed.
Roger that. And he kind of props up in a window. And Glassic, you see, just as Riot leaves, as he's opening the door, opposite of him coming out of the target building, is a stalker with an automatic shotgun, raised and ready to go. You gotta take this guy out.
Son of a bitch. Yep, that son of a bitch need to die.
All right. You send a round, but it impacts behind him. Clip-Kona, you've got your weapon raised still after having cleared out the area with Overkill. You're ready to rock. Go ahead and roll.
That's a 14.
All right, you send rounds towards him as well, but none hit him. Rib. Oh, actually, you got Overwatch. Whisper is going to send some rounds. Damn, he also misses.
He's gotta be somewhat distracted by all this, though.
Yeah, he's actually, all of these rounds, he's gonna tuck back into the building like, oh fuck. And he tucks back into the building, and you see Rib charge out across that courtyard, and Rib, you come in and you get into the hole in the building and swing left where this guy's taking cover behind the bricks, and he's point blank. You send buckshot, or not buckshot, you're using Dragon's Breath. You send Dragon's Breath at point blank, and the dude just, there's nothing. He's just fucking gone, Rhea. And, as he's just getting shit smacked and, dead as hell, you continue the charge on in. Everybody else is kind of stacked up behind you. Sounded something kind of like that. And you've just annihilated all of these dudes in the building. Everybody's on fire. Everybody's groaning. Corpses are writhing. And there's a couple more just to finish things off. There we go. There's Rib moving in. Everybody else kind of supporting him. And you guys find Alexander as you clear the building on the top floor. And there's an effigy in front of him. There is a dead monolithian. His rib cage has been pulled open. Everything within him, all of his muscle, has been torn from the body, but the skin left intact. And he's on a cross that says Idi Comnia.
Am I conscious? Is
Yes.
Alexander conscious?
Yes, you are conscious.
Can I see them at this point?
Yep.
Well, holy fuck, it's about fucking time. Get me the fuck out of here.
Out of character, is our high value individual the one that is crucified?
Nope. The high value individual is the
Okay.
mercenary. He's going to be tied to a chair and looking like he's had the shit
Gotcha.
kicked out of him. Bruises and cuts all over the place. He's been in captivity since the contract had begun.
Just making sure. Yeah, I'm gonna make my way over to the HVI, and I'm gonna use my multi-tool to cut his restraints.
Alright.
Fuck. Thank you. Ugh, I hate those fucking goddamn nylon cuffs.
Did they keep your gear, or did they sell it?
I don't know. You look at me and my face is fucked up. I'm fucking thirsty. Please, someone's have to have something to drink.
I crackle over the radio. Blackbeard, this is Riot. How copy? Over.
Riot, go ahead and send.
HVI is ambulatory, package secured. We'll be outbound in Aprox 5 mics.
Solid copy on all. Package secure. Good work.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand up and I'm very fucked up, so I'm kind of dazed.
I'm gonna look to my mercenary friends. You two help him.
And as you guys kind of cleared through all of the rooms, you find his gear stashed. All of his money's been taken, but he does have a Bushmaster ACR, a single magazine. Pretty much everything has been stolen aside from a med kit, a flashbang, some gauze. his detector, his phone, multi-tool, a flashbang grenade, and his Glock.
Alright. I'm just gonna bring all this stuff out and uh, just hand it to him. Well, not all of your shit's gone. There's a med kit in there that you still had. Fix yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to open that med kit up, and I'm going to use it for sure. And is there any water still in any of my gear,
No,
or
your
anything
canteen's
that I can drink?
stolen.
Fucking bandits! Is there any dead bandit bodies around?
Oh yeah, but Overkill's going to hold out his canteen. He says it's tastes like plastic, but you know.
I will take it, and I will take a sip of it, and I'll drink some. And I'll hand it back and say, "Thank you, thank you." And I'm gonna walk over to one of the bandits, the dead bandits' bodies. And I'm gonna say, "Suka," and I'm gonna kick him in the fucking head. I'm gonna kick his dead body right in the fucking head.
Your
And then I'll put my gear on.
your boot sails through the head like the body's decayed for days, and the head actually comes clean off the body and just fucking smacks a brick wall and splatters like a rotten watermelon.
I'm gonna grab my gear and I'm gonna start getting my shit kitted up, getting my armor on. I'm gonna. Do I have any ammo left other than the one mag? Just the one mag.
Just that one.
One's better than none. So yeah, I'll check all my stuff, and I'm gonna start going through my phone. It's like, oh fuck, Bandit took dick pic in my phone. Fucking bastard.
Just a picture of a hard dick as your background.
What the fucking hell?
And as you guys are going through this, you can hear the BTRs and armored vehicles of the monolith on the horizon. They're still distant, but they're definitely close. And the radio
Uh,
the radio crackles to life. Blackbeard to all units, be advised, you have about 7 minutes before the first elements arrive. I'd get on out of there. Make sure you take shell casings and whatnot. You don't want to leave evidence.
Solid copy. And look to the group. Get your shell casings. We leave now.
yeah, I'm just gonna gather up all my stuff and head out with these guys.
Why are we picking up shell casings?
We don't want to make it look like we've been here.
As if we're not using the same ammo everyone else is using.
They'll know.
We'd be using like Russian government ammo. It'd be like the same as using federal ammo here. Like, if you look at the shell casing, you'll know.
I'm gonna look over it at Armin's character and say it would be better if it looks like no one was here. I trust me. Just pick up the casings. Let's get the fuck out of here.
I pick up the casing.
As you're saying that, you see Overkill using an entire bottle of kerosene, and he's just squirting it on the walls and everything, and coating the area as you guys are looting.
I I'm ready to go. So I'm not gonna loot anything. I'm gonna just be looking at us like, we need to go. Those BTRs are getting closer. I don't want to be here. I feel like shit. I'm hungry. I've got the shit beat out of me for the last fucking week. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead everybody out to where the other two were. We're just gonna just GTFO back to the fob isn't the right word, but
Checkpoint.
just out of the area. Yeah, back to the checkpoint.
All right. So, evening fades into night, and you guys are able to get out of there, and you light the main building on fire as you guys are leaving, and the monolith gets there just after you guys crest the opposite side of the hill. And there's a whole bunch of shooting because monolith be monolith, and you can even hear the Shipunov 2A4 gun on that BTR. Boom, 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 that 37 millimeter just ripping those buildings to shreds. And as you guys get back to Rostock, you're greeted by none other than oh, come on, you stupid bitch. There we go. You're greeted by me. No longer all geared up and everything. Just got a some stalker gear on, and it's very, 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 very early, like 5 a.m. You guys have been rucking for over 24 hours now, awake and rucking around the zone. You guys come back and you're immediately prioritized for meal prep. You guys have meals, and you guys are escorted down by myself to a dark room, and there's a projector, and I turn it on and there's an image on a wall. Alright. Good work on retrieving our guy. And I'm gonna walk up and shake his hand. How are you faring out, hero?
Ugh. Please don't call me that. I hate that fucking nickname. I'm in pain, but I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I'll find some pain pills. I'll be in good mood.
Alright. And he's going to hand you over a syringe of morphine. And he kind of looks around the room as everybody start just inhaling this food. He says, take some rad away after you eat, but this is our next target. We have, obviously, Alexander back. He'll be leading the operations. Riot will secure us a way there. But the political school in Pripyat is chock full of the final remnants of sin. We need to take them out. Obviously, we're also going to be looking for a, and he kind of looks at his PDA. I don't really know a whole lot about this group, Killer's crew, and he's going to point to Riot, and he says, once you're done, fill us in. And Kipchak is going to find a seat, and he's going to eat some breakfast of his own.
Yeah, I'm just gonna scarf down food like I haven't eaten in like over a week because I probably haven't.
Oh yeah, it's probably been like a month since you've had serious sustenance.
Yeah, like they probably gave me just enough to keep me alive.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'm probably dehydrated. Yeah, I'm not looking. I might say I'm fine, but I'm probably not all that fine.
As soon as he said kill his crew, anybody that was looking in my direction noticed that I stopped eating and I started spacing out. Uh, just not looking at anyone and still staring off into space. I addressed the group. There isn't much that I can say now. Imagine the people that we had just fought, but give them skin and eyes and body armor. That same reckless abandon and total disregard for human life. That is what all of these monsters embodied. I ran with a group of stalkers. Not the best of men, but they were good. And damn good at their jobs. If you've ever heard the name Dozer, I ran with him and several others. Killa and his crew are the reason why they aren't around anymore.
All around, you
Slaughtered
kind of
like animals.
You get nods.
Slaughtered like animals. I think maybe animals got better treatment than what my friends had gotten. But all things come to an end, and so did they. I was set up. I was betrayed. The man responsible is not Killa, now lying somewhere in the garbage. Either that or been reduced to piss and shit by a wild boar. No. S.T.A.L.K.E.R. He knew that we were going out on that contract, but he didn't like the way that my group was operating. We got things done. He just had it out for us. Didn't like the way that we did things. So he sent Killa after us. And the rest is history. They're all gone now. My people, Killa and his. All that I have left is one loose end. That treacherous bastard, S.T.A.L.K.E.R.
Is that bastard who stays in that fucking vault in the cordon?
The same.
Yeah, the fucking pussy.
Now that I've helped you, you'll make sure that when I go there, that I stay safe. S.T.A.L.K.E.R. is too important to die. He dies, the zone collapses. And everyone inside finds a fate much worse than death. But I need to retrieve some things. Whisper has let me know that he has some of the things that belong to my dead comrades. I'm getting those back. And I'm going to give S.T.A.L.K.E.R. something that he'll remember for the rest of his wretched life.
And
He won't die.
Whisper's actually gonna say The the trader here in Rostock has Dozer's Scar H and the monolith suit belonging to Shadow.
Then he'll be willing to part with it.
The the as you guys are kind of hanging out and talking over breakfast, um, the major comes down and he briefs. Once the political school has been dealt with, you guys can choose to track down either these guys, and there's the picture of Killa's group. They're somewhere in Pripyat, we believe, based on conversations intercepted by our signal catcher. Or alternatively, head straight for Sidarovich. He will know where they are for sure, but probably unlikely to give that information up. Either way, out of respect for our newfound alliance and for making things right in the zone, both will get what's coming to them. And the major kind of nods and he puts his fist in one of his hands and he says, "There's a few other things on the itinerary, but for now we'll keep things simple with Sidarovich and Killer's crew. Any questions?"
Yet.
The major is going to kind of take a stage in front of everyone, and he's going to say, "You've all been assembled for a very specific task. I'm not sure who or what, but somebody wants one of the old pieces of monolith technology. And the only place to get that is to go into the Scorcher. But again, that comes at a later date. For right now, we will focus on making things right." And he walks out of the room.
So, Riot, you know how we can find this killer? Can you track him down?
I'll have to.
Then we find him and we kill him.
I can help track him down if he has a PDA.
All stalkers inside of the zone use PDAs.
Then I can track.
I would prefer not to deal with Sidorovich if at all possible. He won't be forthcoming.
You're not the one that needs to be dealing with Sidarovich. That's my job.
No,
You and your
we,
people will be pulling security.
we can deal with Sidorovich, and he kind of does the air quotes. But If we can find the killer without having to go through Sidorovich for the information, is better. Unless you think you can pull it out of him.
No, he is treasonous, but he wouldn't sell out a group for information, even under extreme torture.
Yeah, that
No,
is
we'll
what
have
I.
to prioritize the remnants of Killer's crew, and then Sidorovich afterwards.
Okay. Well, then we will find them. We will track them, and we will set up ambush and eliminate them. Everyone has movements. Everyone does same thing over and over again. You find pattern, you exploit the pattern.
And with that said, Kipchak's gonna stand up after eating his breakfast. He says, "Everybody, go ahead and take 24 hours of stand down. Get sleep, get rested, go to the traders if you need to, and get yourself some decent gear. Unfortunately, when you guys were brought into the zone, the gear that was given to you was what I was given by our major, and it's just leftover captured stalker gear. A lot of it old monolith stuff. But we can head into the zone tomorrow, as we'll be parting ways with duty here, as our contract has ended, and there'll be there'll be plenty of money flowing through this place. So keep you know keep some credits on you, and enjoy what few tens of hours we have left here at Rostock."
I am going to find a trader because I have one mag for my rifle, so
All right.
that is not really going to work for me.
So you go and you find a trader. He's a very very middle-aged man, and he prefers to the anonymity that his suit gives him. He stays behind his gas mask and such, and he never really uh, really allows you to see his face at all. Um,
Okay.
but you guys, you go downstairs and you see him. He's he's trading it big. He's got a lot of he's got loot up to the fucking ceiling. He's got guns, he's got all kinds of stuff. But you realize that this is mostly been traded in from people moving from the cordon deeper into the zone. So while it's in good condition, it's also like tier 1 stuff. Not just, it's just your average gear, but it's better than what you've got, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he says, "Welcome, Merc. Come on in. What can I do for you?"
I'm gonna take the mag out of the rifle I have. I'm gonna lay it on the counter, and I need more of these. Do you have?
He's gonna grab it. S.T.A.L.K.E.R mag, NATO rounds, 5.56, yes.
Yeah.
Uh, he's gonna kind of search. as uh, as he's. Oh wait. You see him kind of looking through some weapon attachments and whatnot, and he shakes his head. I'm not sure. Just give me a minute here. There's a lot to go through.
Okay.
What else you got?
I will need ammo. I just got back from bandit camp. I just flew in, arms tired. They take my shit. I need new shit. Okay?
Allah. And he comes up with 2 mags. He says, "These are all I've got. That'll be 50 rubili."
Okay. Tell you what. I'm gonna take one of the bandages out of my pack. Says they take all my money. You take trade?
Uh-huh.
Okay. He's good bandage, brand new, worth more than 50 apiece.
He's gonna point at you, and he's going to say, "How about your green medkit instead?"
That is all I have. What if I get shot? Besides, he's half used. I had to patch myself up after Bandit beat shit out of me. Fuck it. Here, take used medkit. Indeed. I'll hand him over what's left of the medkit.
He smiles and pushes over the 2 Stanag mags. All right, I take it you're very broke after dealing with bandits.
You could say that.
All right, and he says, "Well, best of hunting to you then."
Thank you. And I'm gonna walk out.
That actually reminds me, as you guys are hanging out, all right, Rib, this is your cut of the contract for the rescue mission. 31,000. Go ahead and add that to what you've got here. And then for the rest of you guys, wait. $25,000 to add on to your total here, Armin. 25,000 to add on there. All right, and so yeah, the trader's open if you get any of you guys else want to come down. He's just got some Soviet rock playing.
I was enjoying that.
Yeah, shit's chill, man.
It is very chill.
I'll head to the trader and see what he's got.
I'll head to the trader as well.
Hey, Stalker, how's it going? Hello, Merc.
What do you have in terms of technological scrap?
Let me see here, Stalker. Um.
Old radios, detectors.
I may have a detector laying around here. Give me just a moment. Lot to sort through. Here we go. Basic items and electronics. I have cell phone, a little BlackBerry from many years ago. I have electronic scrap, a remote receiver, a PDA, artifact containers, a bear detector, snake camera, satellite phones, smartphones, and a headset, and an MP3 player. It's got Flow Rida stuck on it, and that's the only song it plays.
These mushrooms make you feel
Oh god.
better. Like
Not worth the error it takes up.
these mushrooms
I also have ham radio set up.
keeping you calm, but sharp. They reduce bloat
An
and protect
entire
your
ham
body so you
radio
digest
setup.
better. Plus,
Yes,
they're
not
good for
unlike
immunity,
the one
so
that you
feel
have,
healthy and
but
energized.
bigger,
And
much
they
bigger
taste good.
setup.
Someone should make a coffee out of this
GMFRS
stuff.
frequencies, all of that, no problem. You could bounce message to the space station if you wanted.
I might have to think on that one. Could you tell me the price for the detector and the PDA?
For BR detector, I have 3000 rubli. Echo detector is 1000 rubli. And I suppose I could get rid of a Svarog, but that's going to come at a pretty penny. I'd let it go for 9000 rubli.
The bear is fine for now, but I'll take that and the PDA.
Okay, I have a field modified variant and standard PDA. Here is your bear.
You said that was how much? 5,000?
3000 for bear
For
detector.
3,000?
The ruggedized PDA is 1200. And I see you have laptop bag. Do you have computer inside?
Does it matter if I do?
Potentially. He holds up a brand new, like, something you've never seen before, but it looks fancy. It is a solar battery and charger. And he says, just asking, because this could be useful for you.
How much for that and the ruggedized PDA?
1200 for battery and 1200 as well for PDA.
Take them both.
Alright, he puts the 3 items up here. as you go to grab them, he kind of puts his hand. Hey, no money, no honey. Money up front.
Uh,
Oh,
I think that's just over 5. So,
I will give you change.
mhm.
Din minuto, and he starts punching in on a um. $4,600 back for you. Din minuto. And he scoops up the cash with a big old grin. How you want it?
However you can give it to me.
He's gonna give you 2 in thousands. Oh.
Do you know what's really fun?
And then,
Making a website on Wix.
god damn it. There we go. Another 2 in 500s. And then 6 100s. Making me count change and shit in my Gurps.
We're not a government agency. We can say no.
When Gurps becomes Monopoly.
Do not pass go. Do not collect 200 rubles. Go straight to the gulag.
It's Communopoly.
Actually, the funny thing is that Monopoly was supposed to be a game that showed the dangers of capitalism.
Yeah, that is true. And instead, it was like a strategy guide for some others.
And so as he's sorting out his change and taking his items, he points to you. Hey, S.T.A.L.K.E.R, I remember seeing you a few days ago. The Legend of Riot.
Whoa. Back in character. I've come to find out that you have some things that I need to acquire.
He kind of raises his eyebrows. Duh? What is?
A Seva suit and a Scar H.
Oh, yeah. One Scar H in inventory, only one. Very well decked out. Not sure where this guy got it from, but he brought it from the Red Forest. And he pulls it up, and it's got all the same attachments that Dozer had on it. I'd let it go for 19,000.
Deal. And I reach into my bag and pull out 19K. Let's see. Gotta sort through all of this currency. Oh! I didn't know that the search bar was enabled and I accidentally typed a W. These are the same, alright.
And after you guys talk about the Seva suit for a moment, he says, why are you looking for Monolith specifically?
How much?
Um, I mean, it's got a lot of holes in it. It's compromised.
I know.
What do you mean?
The man that was using that weapon and the man that was wearing that suit were friends of mine.
He gets a really sad look on his face, and he says, okay, let me rethink this deal. I do have to make some money on this scar. I'll do half. 9,500. And
Just-
you can have the Seva suit. And he walks back into a dark room and he pulls it out. He says, I found the name tag within. He kind of fiddles with the suit for a second. Oh, where is it here? Vladimir Alexeyevich Petrovsky, call sign Shadow.
Yeah.
You were part of
And,
Dozer's crew?
I put 21K down on the counter. This should cover it.
He just kind of nods and he says, give me 1 moment. Let me see what else I got from these guys. Do you remember a man by the name of Andrei Kowalski in that same group?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he brings you the scoped SKS. This was also from that same group that traded the rest of this in.
Was there anything else?
I've just got this cracked mask that says Dozer. And he hands that
I'll
over.
take it.
There's nothing really left of it, but it's just on the teeth that he had painted on it. The smile that says Dozer on the chin. And he kind of slides it over. He really sorrowfully, he says, if it's any condolence, I did not trade with those people. They just I paid for these items and I refused them any further trade. I saw most of the uniforms had loners symbols on them, and I don't much like anyone who kills loners.
I put another 1,000 down on the counter. Where did you buy these from?
A man in Killer's crew. I think his name was Fix It or something of that nature.
Did he say where he was going? Did anyone see when he left and where he was headed?
About 4 weeks ago he came through. They didn't really talk to anybody. Came through, traded, stocked up on things at the bar, and then left.
Okay. I'm just gonna, like, mutter to myself, I saw them die. I saw them. I killed them. I saw them die. I take the stuff and I walk out of the shop.
Anybody else want to do some trading?
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna walk back into the trader and say, I found the money. Let's do business.
He smiles. Now you're speaking my language.
Okay, so I need pain pills. You have?
Oh, maybe. Let's see here. I have Hercules. Increases endurance, lowers encumbrance, and but you're going to feel like shit after 5 hours.
No, I need like morphine or hydrocodone, something like that.
What
I have
about
bad back.
heroin, marijuana, cocaine?
Oh Jesus Christ! No, I be up for the cocaine. I kill half the people in zone. No, no, it's good. That's not good. Uh, uh, never mind. It's fine. I'll go find our medic.
I might have a few ampules. 1,150 rubles.
Okay, that will work.
Right here.
Okay.
Do you need radio protectant as well?
Uh, why not? It's good for me.
1,500.
Okay. Okay, so 20, 2650 all total, huh?
Da.
Okay, here you go. Oh, I think that's one.
From 5,000. 2350. Okay, 2350 back.
Okay, thank you very much.
Da, stay safe.
Okay, you too.
He's gonna furrow his eyebrows.
I'm just happy I found some pain meds. I'm actually gonna go outside. Is there a fire going somewhere?
Oh yeah, there'd be all kinds of different assortments of fires going, and they're all stuck. This is the one place where everybody can sit down, even though it's controlled by duty and policed by duty. They allow anybody to come in, no bullshit, no drama, no fights. As long as that stays, everybody can stay. But as soon as one fight breaks out, doesn't matter who, everybody gets forced out. Those people are blacklisted and more than likely no longer in the zone.
Yeah, I'm just going to I'm just gonna take one of my ampules of morphine and I'm just gonna sit by the fire and chill out for the rest of the night.
All right, and that said, um, are everybody's vexes satisfied before we end session?
I'd say so.
Yeah, uh, Sarah's would be because she'd be sitting there probably somewhere in the camp smoking weed.
Oh shit. It doesn't look like.
Oh, did she
Uh,
not get any?
no. Riot and Clip do not have vexes. Are they written down on your character sheet?
What do you mean?
Everybody needed to have a vex. Something like he's got a pain pill addiction. I have to smoke, and I'm a heavy smoker and drinker. Um, you've got to have
Oh.
some sort of a vice.
Shit. Yeah, no, this is news to me.
Yeah, trying to get everybody on at the same time to get these characters done was not an
It's
easy
not
one.
easy.
Hang on. Let me pull something from the bag of
The
whatchamacallit.
bag of
The bag of
fuckery.
addiction.
The bag of fuckery.
Just random shit.
You're addicted to fuckosis.
You're diagnosed with borderline fuckosis.
The counter is I don't give a fuckosis.
Alright, rib. There we go. You are a Vinca addict. You gotta have pills that heal you. Could be worse.
Yeah, fair enough.
They heal. It helps to coagulate. Uh,
Rib's gonna be coming bullets if he's coagulated.
you haven't been in the zone, Clip. What about just a heavy drinker?
Sure.
Or if you want, you could have a marijuana dependency. Oh wait, actually we have heroin and cocaine too.
I'll do alcohol.
Alrighty. But yeah,
For a
just
minute there, I
I don't.
swear he was gonna say, "I'll do cocaine."
I'll do cocaine. I'll do heroin. I'll give my character.
Oh God, could you imagine having to play a coke addict the whole time? Jesus.
just fucking roid rage.
It's like there's fucking ninjas in the fucking woods. Nope, that's a controller. God, dude, it's bad enough being in the zone, but imagine being paranoid off a coke. Holy shit.
But yeah, just write that down in your feats and traits. And
You got it.
yeah, that is the end of